What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Raidraptor deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is one of the most powerful XZ decks ever created. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name, description of a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Tribute Lanius. This card is an amazing 3-of and one of the best starters in the entire deck, because this card is a walking Foolish Burial that during the main phase, if this card is normally special summoned this turn, you can actually send a Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard, which is an amazing ability to help you get your copy of Mimicry Lanius into the graveyard so you can banish it and then search a card. We then play 3 copies of Strangle Lanius. Strangle Lanius is definitely a 3-of as well because this card is an amazing extender. With the ability if you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect. Also, if you control an XZ monster with a dark XZ monster as a material, you can target a level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster in the graveyard and special summon it, but negate its effects, which is an awesome ability to instantly get an additional monster on your side of the field to go in for more rank 4 plays. We then play 3 copies of Bloom Vulture. Bloom Vulture is crazy powerful in this deck and definitely a 3-of because this card has the ability if you don't control any face-up monsters other than Winged Beast monsters, you can special summon both this card and a Raidraptor monster from your hand, instantly getting you 2 monsters on your side of the field. Also, if you control no monsters, you can actually target 2 level 4 or lower Raidraptor monsters in your graveyard, including this card, and special summon them in defense position, but you can only use one effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. Also, you cannot special monsters for the rest turn after you activate either of this card's effects except dark monsters, which is totally fine because it's always summoned in this deck anyways. We then play 3 copies of Raider's Wing. Raider's Wing is an amazing 3-of in the build, and one of my favorite cards in the entire deck is this card is not only a Raidraptor monster, but it's also a Phantom Knight monster. This card is super easy to summon out to your side of the field, because if this card's in your hand or your graveyard, you can detach a material from a Dark XZ monster to special summon this card, but banish when it leaves the field, which is a great effect to instantly get this card out on your side of the field to extend your plays. We then play 3 copies of Fuzzy Lanius. Fuzzy is just really good as a 3-of extender in the deck because this card has the ability to control any Raidraptor monster other than a copy of Fuzzy. You can special summon this card from your hand, which is a great effect. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add another copy of it from your deck to your hand, which is a great ability to instantly get another one for your follow-up next turn because you can only special summon this card once per turn. We then play 2 copies of Noir. Noir is really good as a 2-of in the build, but I feel like 2 is really all you need. This card has the ability during the main phase, if this card was normally special summoned this turn, you can target a Raidraptor monster you control and then add a Raidraptor monster with a different level than that monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect. So we have a bunch of other Raidraptor monsters that are not level 4 that we can actually search off this card's effect, but it's a great 2-of in the build. We then play 2 copies of Mimicry Lanius. Mimicry Lanius is great in the deck as a 2-of, and I really like this card as a 2-of in the build because it has the ability that during the main phase, if this card's in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can banish this card to add a Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand except another copy of this card, which is an awesome ability to search out anything that you need. But I really like playing 2 copies of this card in the deck because if you use one and you need one for the follow-up, you always have the second copy to be able to summon another copy of Tribute Lanius and send the additional copy of Mimicry to the graveyard, but it's just so powerful in the deck to help you search out the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Heal Eagle. Heal Eagle is just really good as an extender because if all monsters you control are Raidraptor monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand and also banish the card in the graveyard and then target a Raidraptor spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand, which is a really cool effect to be able to get the exact card that you need. But this card works really well with our copy of Noir because it's a level 3. We then play a single copy of Pain Lanius. Pain Lanius is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card can easily special summon itself out to your side of the field, and also it has the ability to basically copy the level of a monster on your side of the field, which is a great effect to basically make this card a level 4, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Smorg, Bird of Perfection. This card is great in the deck as a 3-of because it basically just gives us an additional monster on our side of the field, which is why we play this card as a 3-of in the deck. It's so powerful in this particular build. It's just really good because during the main phase, if you normal or special summon a Winged Beast monster, you can reveal this card in your hand, and then immediately its effect resolves, you get to normal summon it to your side of the field, which is a really cool effect to instantly get it out on your board. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just an amazing 3-of overall in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We also play 3 copies of Effect Veiler to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects, and I also play 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. That's something that's really cool about this deck, is you can play a bunch of different hand traps in this build to basically just stop your opponent in their tracks, and it's really cool to be able to play these because Droll basically stops your opponent from touching the deck for the rest of the turn, Effect Veiler stops your opponent's monster effects, and Ash stops your opponent from touching the deck, which is really, really cool. If you do have Molcharmies, you can change out Droll for them, which is a really good option for you guys if you want to play cards like Fluros or Perilia is another option for you guys. But I really like Droll this format because it stops the opponent in their tracks. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're just going to be playing a few, starting off with Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is really good as a 1-of in the deck. This card can send your copy of Mimicry to the graveyard, basically starting your entire combo. We then play a single copy of Rank Up Magic Skip Force. Skip Force is great as a 1-of in the build because this card lets you rank up by 2 ranks, which is really cool, and I love that about this card, and it's such a powerful combo piece in this deck. To be able to rank up into your copy of Arsenal Falcon is just absolutely amazing, but this card is really good in the deck as a 1-of. We then play a single copy of Rise Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force. Now this card is actually how we summon another copy of Rising Rebellion Falcon, our big rank 13 monster, as this card has the ability that during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can target 2 or more Raidraptor XZ monsters you control and or in your graveyard, including a monster on the field, and if at least 2 remained face up at resolution, you special summon 1 Raidraptor XZ from your action deck with a rank equal to the combined ranks of those monsters, and if you do, attach the targets to that monster as a material, and it is treated as an XZ summon, which is a great ability to basically just target 2 of your rank 4s and a rank 5 to make your rank 13 monster, which is absolutely insane to be able to make Rising Rebellion Falcon during the opponent's turn, because this card is a quick play spell, which is absolutely broken. We then play a single copy of Roost. Roost is just really good as a 1-of in the build, as this card has the ability if a Raidraptor monster is special summoned from the X deck to your field, you can actually add a Raidraptor spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to grab the exact card that you need. Also, this card helps you recycle your cards because you can target 3 of your Raidraptor monsters that are banished or in the graveyard, place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, and then draw a card. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a few just like the spells, starting off with Raidraptor Glorious Bright. This card is really good as a 1-of in the build, and it's actually our copy of Ultimate Falcon's Attack, which is so cool. This card has the ability, if you control a Raidraptor monster, you can actually target a face-up monster your opponent controls, or if you control a copy of a Raidraptor XZ monster, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls, negate that card effect until the end of the turn, which is a really cool ability, and you also banish a card from the graveyard, target one of your Raidraptor monsters that's banished or in the graveyard and add it back to your hand, but you can only use 1 effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. We then also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is just really good as a 3-of in the build. Basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. It's an amazing 3-of in the build to be able to work with all of our other hand traps in this deck. And that's something really powerful about Raidraptors, is you have so much room for hand traps in this build because basically all of your cards are starters and extenders to be able to help you go in for your big plays. And as long as you can summon out your copy of Rising Rebellion Falcon and back it up with hand traps, it's very easy to win a game. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Rising Rebellion Falcon. This card is our main boss monster and an absolutely broken card. I really like playing 2 copies of it because it's very easy to make 2 in this deck, because it's super easy to recycle our rank up magics. This card is absolutely insane. It's a towers, it's a board wipe, and it's just such a powerful card because it's unaffected by other card effects. And if it's XZ summon, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. Then, if this card has 3 or more Raidraptor XZ monsters with different names as material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of the destroyed monsters, which is absolutely insane. That's a game-ending effect right there as soon as it touches the field. Also, once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card, target a Raidraptor XZ monster in your graveyard, and then basically this card gains that monster's effects until the end of the turn, which is absolutely insane and such a powerful effect. With just a single copy of Ultimate Falcon, this card is basically a towers, just like your copy of Rising Falcon, and this card is just really insane to basically just go in for game. It's one of my favorite XZs in the entire game, and just such a powerful card. With a single copy of Satellite Cannon Falcon, this card is really good as a one-of, just to deal with your opponent's back row. It's just a really good option overall in the deck. With a single copy of Arsenal Falcon. Arsenal Falcon reads like a custom card. This card is absolutely insane. You detach a material from this card to special summon any level 4 wing beast monster you want from your deck, which is already a broken ability. And if this card has any number of Raidraptor monsters and material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. And if this card is sent to the graveyard while it has a Raidraptor monster as a material, you can special summon a Raidraptor XZ monster from your X deck, except another copy of this card, which is usually going to be your copy of Ultimate Falcon, that you're going to summon off this card's effect. You might have seen a copy of Revolution Falcon. Revolution Falcon is just a really awesome card to help you basically just go in for game. This card is really powerful because you can detach a material from this card, and this turn, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And at the start of the damn chip, if this card battles an opponent's face-up special summon monster, that monster's attack and defense becomes 0. And if this card is a Raidraptor XZ monster, as an XZ material, it gains this effect that once per turn you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack that monster had on the field, which is an absolutely broken effect, and it's so easy to make in this deck and just help you swing into a bunch of different monsters your opponent has and go in for game. We then have a copy of Brave Strix. Brave Strix is really good to help us basically get to our rank up magic spells, and this card is really good as a one-of in the build. This card you're usually making off your copy of Raiders Knight to be able to basically just detach a material and grab your rank up magic that you need to step into your next play. We then play just 2 copies of Force Strix. I have bumped Force Strix down to 2. I feel like 2 is totally fine in this deck. This card has the ability that you can detach a material from this card and then add a level 4 Wing Beast that's dark from your deck to your hand. All of this card's effect, instantly getting you the exact card that you need. We then play 2 copies of Raiders Knight. Raiders Knight is really good as a 2-of in the deck, as this card is treated as a Phantom Knight and a Raidraptor card and has probably one of the best artworks in the entire game. This card is the ability you detach a material on this card and then special summon from your X deck 1 copy of a Raidraptor XZ monster, an XZ Dragon, or a Phantom Knight's XZ monster that's 1 rank higher than this card, meaning we can either step into our copy of our Brave Strix or we go into our copy of Arc Rebellion, which is insane to help us go in for game because this card basically gains the attack points of all the monsters on the field, cold waves the field, and then you just swing in for game. It's absolutely insane and a really easy OTK piece. We then play a single copy of Evil Sworn Nightmare. Nightmare is just really good as a one-of in the build to be able to make. It's basically just end on this card just in case you need a Book of Moon. And then we play 2 copies of Wise Strix. Wise Strix is really cool as a 2-of in the build, and an awesome card in the deck because if it's XZ summon, you get to special summon a level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but its effects are negated, and also it cannot be used as a link material, but if you have a Raidraptor XZ monster on your side of the field and its effect is activated, you get to set a rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if it's a quick play spell, you can activate it the same turn it was set, which is a really cool ability. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is absolutely broken, and I love Raidraptors. They're so cool to be able to play, and it's insane to be able to summon out your copy of Rising Rebellion Falcon and help you go in for game. This deck is so powerful and absolutely amazing to be able to play, and just is such a fun deck to make awesome XZ plays. So that's gonna be for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can come for our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. See you later, guys.